Hello all, in this video we are going to see how to set up a LaTeX template to write our project report. For that, you could download the capstone project report.zip. I have provided that in the canvas. Okay, so this is the capstone project report. I have already downloaded that. So what we will be doing is we will be going to overleaf.com website. So Overleaf is an editor for a LaTeX, okay, so which is an online editor for LaTeX you could use for collaborative purposes and other purposes. The main goal of using LaTeX is to focus on your content rather than formatting. For example, if you use the Word document, you would be focusing more on how to format the pictures, the tables and all that stuff, references and all. So whereas if you use LaTeX, so you don't have to focus more on formatting, but you would be focusing more on the content. Okay, so when you go to Overleaf, click on login. You may log in with your Google address, Google accounts, register with Google accounts, and you could log in with those credentials later on. Okay, so I'm logging using my credentials, and these are my projects here. So basically what I'm going to do is whatever I downloaded now from the Canvas site, I'm uploading that project here. Okay, so just drag and drop, or you may select from here. As soon as I selected this project, so I get here the LaTeX file and then the PDF file here, so I would be able to see all this. So this is a template for you that you would be submitting at the end of the every module. Okay, so at the end of every module you have a section or a couple of sections due. You would be submitting here, and you would be submitting the PDF file from this download PDF file. Okay, before we go that, let me explain you the folder organization or files organization here. So this is a project that I have done, I have imported just now. So if you want to rename it, go ahead and rename by clicking more, rename. So maybe you could put your last name, or capstone project report is enough if you're using only one project. Okay, so click on that, you will be able to get this. So this is figure, and this is a text document of history. This is called class file. Basically I'm using Springer template, so just promise that you should not touch this file, because if you edit something in this, you may not be able to work with it. And this is an image, this is a bibliography file, and this is readme text, like a usual beginning instruction, and sample paper.tex. So this is a paper that we have to edit, and this is a format of how we are going to use our references. Okay, so even you don't have to touch this one as well. Okay, let's see now. Let's say, so again, just so document class, you don't have to do anything. This is much easier than HTML. So begin document, it would start from here, and in the title, so I have given capstone project report, but if you want, you could write you have to write your titles of your project. So let's say if you're working on some credit card data fraud detection, so you would be writing credit card fraud detection using machine learning algorithms. Okay, so, and as soon as you edit something, so if you think that you have written something significantly, I would recommend to compile it so that you could be able to see whether it has been uploaded here or not, or updated here or not. Okay, so algorithms, and then I ask you to write your first name, middle initial, and last name. So basically you would be writing your first name, middle initial, last name. That would update here automatically. And then author running would be your first first letter in the first name, period, and your last name, period. So basically this would be appear here, so on every page, at least on left hand side, you would be able to see this one. Okay, on the right hand side, you would be able to automatically see um, the title of the project that you are writing. All of you are Northwest Missouri State University. You don't have to change that. Email address, so I suggest you to change, write your email address. If you have multiple email addresses that you are using, and you could write that as well. For example, xxx@gmail.com. Okay, so this is abstract. So whatever you write the abstract, if you complete it here, so that would be the abstract. Usually students would be submitting the abstract at the end, so they don't have to write in the beginning, because you have to finish your project, then you have to write your abstract. And then keywords. So I have got this template from my other course called mobile computing. You could write your maybe data analytics. And data analytics, this is not so sophisticated to predict all the errors, and sometimes even though if it's not an error, it will show, but you can ignore that. Credit cards, and you might be using a machine learning algorithm. Yes, GB, stochastic gradient boosting technique. Okay, maybe cloud computing, or fraud, so some type of keywords. I would recommend you to list at least 4 to 5 keywords, so that would be good enough. And in the introduction section, basically whenever you want to write a section, you have to use a command \section and write introduction. So whatever you want to write the introduction here, you just paste it, or you can write in the Word and then you can paste it here. That would be easy. Subsection. So if you want to have subsections in that, you would be using subsection and then write the goals of the project. For you, it's project, not the research. And then another subsection, so I have one more section. Maybe for you, this would be about the data, so you'll be explaining your data attributes and all that stuff. So you already know how to write your titles, name, email addresses, abstract, and the sections. So no matter how many sections, it's the same syntax. So \section and \subsection. Okay. And if you have a subsection, basically you would be using a subsection. Okay, subsection command. Usually we don't want to write too many subsections here. So you would be using percentage for the comment. Okay, so I'm updating. Yeah, we already updated to check the data here. Okay. And you also want to know how you would be doing the tables. Okay, here I have 2 different tables. We'll see how these tables would look like. That would be begin table, end table, and you have end tabular also, begin tabular. So basically here the caption of the table is gas prices and the label you are using is gas price. Okay, so this is up to you, whatever you want to use, which is a unique value that you have to use. And this is a title of your table, begin tabular, and this line is nothing but the line on the left hand side. L is the left indentation of what you are writing in the first column, and then one more line, and then the right indentation, because numbers are always right indented. You would be able to see that. And then another line. Okay, so H line is a line under the month and price. So you would be using month and price. So let's say how many columns we have here, 1 and 2. In order to differentiate between the columns, you have to use ampersand. Okay, so month and price. Another H line, so we would put a line, and then month. As I said, in order to differentiate column, you have to use ampersand. Okay, so use 2.12. And if you want to use dollar or special characters, or even sometimes I want to use 0.12, let's say percentage. So again, we know that percentage is a comment, so you have to use a backslash for that, so that it would be part of the text that you are planning to write. So for example, even for the dollar, you would be using backslash that. Okay, so I wrote percentage here. So now maybe if you want to write a H line here, no, I'm not typing it, a H line, so I'm just writing for an example. You don't have to. That gives you another line here. Okay, so and you have to write ampersand for starting from the second column. Let's say if you have 4 columns, you would be writing for second column, third column, and then fourth column. Okay, so and this one. My recommendation is, so edit the current table so that you would be able to use the format. You don't have to memorize all these commands, so just edit the table here. I have one more table. This is from a LaTeX itself. And one more thing I have to mention about the gas price here. Okay, so I might have written something. Okay, so you have table here. I'm sure you will be writing text and you will be referring to the table. So the gasoline prices are summarized in table, and you have to use a ref command, \ref command, and you would be referencing whatever the gas price, whatever the name. Let's say if you want to give gas price 1, you would be able to see gas price 1. Okay, and let's compile and see what will happen. It should be somewhere here. Okay, so the gas prices are summarized in table, so now LaTeX is finding out for gas price, so which is not available. So that's why you get question mark, and then 1. So this is a wrong reference. Okay, so that is with the table. So same way here I wrote, they wrote title centered, which is part of the text itself, so you could be able to look at here this table. So what is the table label here, which is tab 1, and then the table title is table captions should be placed above the tables. So if I have to tell this, and you have to remember in the Word every time that you have to put out above. Okay, whereas in the LaTeX you don't have to remember that. So whatever you type here, it would be automatically on the top of the table itself. Okay, let's say again you don't have to even number the tables. So LaTeX is intelligent enough to get your tables. So let's see, it's table 1 and table 2. Let's say if you move this table to the top, that would become table 1 automatically. So you don't have to keep track of what those tables are and when. And again, the data would be automatically changed. So gas prices are in table 2. Okay, so that's why you don't have to worry too much about that. These are some equations, and this is important for the figures. Same way, you would be able to see the fig1.eps. I don't care too much about the EPS format, but you could always use with the PNG format or JPEG format. That would be easy for you actually. So I'm explaining this part here. You could look into that. So begin figure, include graphics. Width would be the text width, because I don't want to exceed the text width. And which would be metacomputing.png. I have metacomputing.png figure. I would put it here. Okay, so and then label is mecfig. So you already know by now why we are using labels, because we have to refer that into our text. So let's see here, the detailed steps of MEC is shown in figure. Again, you would be using ref MEC, MEC fig. Okay, so let's recompile. So it already shows the detailed steps of MEC shown in figure 2 and 2 because I have typed one more time for your references. Okay, the same thing here. If you look at here exactly, I just copy pasted this one and modified this. So the caption is a little bit bigger. So a figure caption is always placed below the illustration. Remember, for tables it's on the top, for figures it's the below. Okay, for figures it's a below. So again, if I have to tell all these details, you would be remembering this and you would be not focusing on the actual content. Now you don't have to worry about it. So here is another figure that they used. This is from Springer itself. Okay, and then fig 1, we have referred fig 1 here. Okay, so fig 1. Okay, so now we are done with tables and we are done with figures. Okay, and I want to show you, if you want to use some kind of enumerated, let's say enumerated is nothing but like a numerical things. If you have steps, usually you would be having steps in your project. First step is data collection and second step is data cleaning or data pre-processing. So you would be writing steps. For that you would be using data enumeration. Okay, so I have written the following are the cooking steps. The first thing is you have to clean vessels. When you cook, you may have sub steps, and then finally you eat. So here, begin, enumerate, clean vessels, cook, and then under cooking you may have subsection. So again, begin, enumerate, and enumerate. And then you would be writing here. So I want to show you one more thing with this. Let's say place a pan. I would like to write like a begin. I may have more sub steps here after you place a pan. Begin, enumerate, because these are, when you say begin enumerate, you already get end enumerate and you already see the item there. Item is nothing but the thing that you want to place. So once you place the pan, I don't know, just put some oil and then some salt. I'm just typing one thing. I'm not a good cook, but yes. So now you see the steps nicely done here. Okay, and sometimes you may not want to have any steps. Then you would be using itemize instead of enumerate. It's itemize, and everything is same exactly with the steps. Okay, but you would be using lots of steps in your project. Okay, at every time I would like to see what steps you are following in order to analyze your data. So we are done with this. And then for citations and references, if you try to get like a research paper, then these references are required from 2 to 10. But however, in this course, it is not required for you to get all these all these references. But I'm going to show you all those. But the important thing is, let's say if you get some reference from a website, that means you have to cite it. So for example, let's see that we have a bibliography here. I'm using bibliography style of SPLNCS04, which is nothing but this one. So that's why I asked you not to touch. And I already have a my bibliography file. Let's go to my bib file, .bib file here, and see what all I have here. So this is a Bibtex file. So basically how we will get this is, I would like to show you an example. Google Scholar, and go to Google Scholar, maybe search for credit card fraud detection. Oh, I didn't get fraud. I saw fraud somewhere. Fraud detection. Okay, I searched something. Okay, so now here I see that the credit card detection using neural net. When you write your introduction, maybe you have to cite some articles. So for that, what I want you to click this, the little bit quotation things, and then find a Bibtex here. and then copy this, go to your bib file and paste it here. Basically, I'm removing everything here. I just don't want to confuse you with this. Just clean everything, and then I just copy pasted this one. So I kept these two because of online. I want, but I'll keep it here. So this one. So basically, credit card detection. I got everything. So now what I would do is I will compile this. All my references will be gone. Okay, I have how many? 1, 2, 3 references. My first reference is this credit card thing. So however, LaTeX is intelligent enough to sort it by alphabets. Okay, so that's why I got a website first with no author, and another website at the end which has the last name K, right? So this is how you would be able to cite. At least I would like to see few articles in your introduction. For that, you could go to Google Scholar and search for that, and you can go back, and if you want to look at this citing thing, click on this little bit and then go to Bibtex. Okay, so you would be done. Okay, so now the important question is how we would, sometimes you would get materials from the websites, right? So let's say I get material, I'm just typing something. Let's say I'll go here. Maybe I'll go to my Northwest. Let's say I got material from this website. So basically what I did is, again, if you are really not interested in putting the author and all that stuff, you could basically put this URL here and then copy this one more time. I have a given template for you. Copy this, remove this part, and then whatever the URL that I have copied, you just put it here under the URL. And if you know author title of that, if you have any title, my Northwest portal, maybe this is the title. Just put the title there. Let's say author would be the university. Okay, so another important thing that you have to notice here is all these codes should be unique. Usually when you get it from Google Scholar, those are the unique codes. But when you copy paste something, you have to make sure that those are unique things. For example, this one is unique and I wrote website 1 and this is also website 1. Maybe I'm changing it to website 2. Okay, so I'm compiling here and I would get one more website. Where is that? Yeah. Now I have a title here. So now it's considering university. Yeah, author is university, and then the Northwest portal is a title, and then I get the title here. Okay. So this is how you have to cite the references. And I'm going back here. So for in-text citation, what you have to do is, I have deleted everything. Okay, so for citations of references, we prefer to use square brackets. Okay, again, you don't have to worry about all that stuff. You would see this here. Okay, right now I haven't cited any of these articles inside my text here. However, I got all my references here. How did I get is I'm using a command called \cite and with a star, with an asterisk. Okay, so if I comment that, I will not have any references in my paper or in my report here. Okay, so basically my suggestion is when you put your references, put this command and delete the and comment that command, and maybe you would be citing in your introduction here. Where is your introduction? Okay, in so and so paper, the authors discussed a technique to find the anomaly in credit card transactions. Okay, So now you want to cite transactions. Okay, now you want to cite it. Maybe you can put the authors. As soon as you get the authors, it would be cite, and then what would be that thing here, which is gosh 1994 credit. Okay, credit. Okay, so you would be able to see this. Now when you compile, you would be able to see only one reference in your thing, and then you would be able to see the reference here. Okay, now I would like to put one more reference here, which would be cite, that's cite 02. Maybe you got the data from there, something like that. Okay, now when I compile, I would be able to get website 02 here. Okay, it should be actually like this. Okay, so website 02, and if you notice here, you get the website 02 here as well. Okay, so whenever you cite, you would be getting references. However, if you want to test whether your references is working or not, you would be able to use a cite all command. When you put cite all command, now all the three would be appeared here. Okay, actually 4. Why 4? Yeah, because I have one more website. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is how you would be organizing your thoughts, your processes that you are implementing in your project in a report. I hope this will simplify your writing steps. Okay, thank you.